Well, hello everyone and welcome. This is Adam Hoagie. Thank you for coming out today for the Pinterest for Authors. Pinterest is a big time traffic generator for people who know and understand how to use it. I've known of New York Times bestselling authors who started out from scratch. And now they've had a few different traffic generating methods, but one of their big ones that have helped them, such as H.M. Ward, the romance author, was Pinterest. Pinterest. It works. It works better than Facebook. And everybody knows that when you can tweak Facebook well, Facebook works. So Pinterest is even better than that. So I'm happy to introduce to you today, everyone, Daniel Hall and John Kramer, who will be presenting today, teaching you everything you need to know to begin driving clicks to your website. Anyway, thank you, Daniel, and thank you, John, for being here today.
Well, we really appreciate it. Thanks for this opportunity. It's always an honor and a privilege to get to teach your community. And I just wanted to, before we jump into the training proper here, I just wanted to give you a few sort of acknowledgments and warnings and caveats as we go through. I will start by telling you that a lot of the concepts and ideas that we are going to be presenting today are super easy to understand. Okay, so that won't be a problem for you. They're just really very broad concepts and easy to understand. The one thing that I do want you to understand about this is that the actual traffic generation, the actual use of Pinterest to make money, well, there are some subtleties to that. There are nuances to that. So those nuances, those subtleties, those wrinkles are easy to miss if you are not paying attention. So I would strongly encourage you to right now turn off anything that might distract you from this presentation, be that a cell phone, your email client, Facebook, anything that's going to distract you, because the fact is that what we're covering today, you may miss the one thing that might make you profitable if you're off on Facebook or something like that. So don't do that to yourself. We want this to be a wise investment of your time. So with that, I want to welcome you to this training and just also say that we are going to be providing a lot of immediately actionable content in today's presentation. So make sure that you have a way to take notes. We're going to be covering how to use Pinterest as an author to get your piece of the $11 billion annual share economy, cashing in on what John and I call peer-to-peer social tokens. Now, we're going to be doing that in a variety of different ways and with a variety of different case studies, one of which is somewhat controversial. And we're actually going to show you how we drove over 168,000 plus and still counting clicks to our websites using just one graphic on Pinterest. Okay, so that's what we're going to be covering in today's training. Now, the other thing I want to do is just very briefly introduce myself. If you don't know who I am, I'm this guy, Daniel Hall, best-selling author, speaker, publisher, nurse, attorney, and podcaster, also the creator of the highly popular brand of Real Fast training products. I'm mostly the MC here today. The star of the show is my good friend and business partner, John Kramer. John is an expert in book publishing and marketing, and perhaps you'll know about John through his book, 1001 Ways to Market Your Books, which is kind of like the Bible of the whole book marketing industry. I mean, it's on the desk of the big time publishers all the way down to the indie book publishers. So he is also known as the grandfather of book marketing, and John definitely knows his stuff. And it's not just me that says that. In fact, paragons of our industry, folks like Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen said, if you want to sell 600 million books like we have, get and use John's book. And even Stephen Covey said, John Kramer was instrumental to our success in making the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People one of the 2 most influential business books of the 20th century. And I know you're probably wondering, well, that's all well and good for John Kramer. What the heck does it have to do with me? Well, I just start off the presentation so that you understand the level and quality of marketing acumen headed down the tracks at you right now. So, as I said earlier, get ready to take copious notes. Now, I also want to let you know that we are, in fact, here live, okay, for Adam's group. And because of that, you and I are going to be communicating extensively in today's presentation, and we ask questions along the way to kind of tailor make and tailor this presentation to you. Okay, so I do have a question for you, and if you can go to the questions box right now and tell us what you are selling online. Is it a book? With Adam's group, I strongly suspect it's probably book, or is a physical product or affiliate offer, or maybe you've got Amazon listings, Etsy or eBay store. Let me know in the chat what you are selling. Now, before you do that, in today's presentation, for one lucky winner, we are actually going to build out a Pinterest funnel for you, okay? So if you can, along with letting us know what you are selling, also include a link to your book, your sales page, wherever your buy button is, though the button, the add to cart button that actually results in money in your bank account if somebody clicks on it, okay, and completes it. So let me hear from you in the chat right now, and along with your link, and yeah, Amazon link would be fine. It would be actually preferable if it were an Amazon link, if for those of you that have that. So yep, get that into the chat. So thank you for that. All right, now the other thing I want to do here is I also want to say and ask you this, now that we've kind of discussed what you're selling. Next, I want to know, how are your sales going? How do you feel your sales are going? Let me know in the chat by putting a 1 in the chat if you could definitely see better sales. You would like to see better sales. Maybe even you haven't even started selling yet, so you definitely like to see better sales. Put a 2 in the chat, the number 2 in the chat if you're seeing sales, but you'd like to increase them, okay? And put a 3 in the chat if you're just doing great guns and you're happy with your level of sales and you don't need any more sales. Just let me hear from you in the chat. 1, 2, or 3. And I'm seeing all the responses come in here. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 1, 1, 1. Right there, Robin, right where you are. She says, where is the chat? You're in the chat right now. If you got that message to me, that's the right place to put it, okay? Okay, you're welcome, Robin. Okay, awesome. So, and it looks like for the most part, I would say the vast majority of you have answered 1. So I think if you answered a 1 or a 2, which have, by the way, been all of you, I think that you and I can agree that you have a fundamental problem. And that fundamental problem is not enough people know that you exist. Not enough people are aware that you have a book, or that you have a product, or that you have some sort of an offer that could potentially make their lives better. That's why you're not seeing the sales that you would like to see, because there's not enough people that know that you are out there, okay? But let me ask you this question. If you had automatic demand and instant momentum, do you think that would help you? Let me know in the chat, just a yes or no. If you had automatic demand and instant momentum for your book launch, your sales, your any kind of promotion. Yeah, Stephanie says yes, obviously. Yeah, exactly. Awesome. So I guess we're all on the same page with regard to that, which is great news. because in today's presentation, we're actually going to be covering a solution I think that you're going to love. It's in harnessing what John and I call the share economy. And again, just so that we're on the same page when I speak of the share economy, these are usually companies that are characterized by some sort of peer-to-peer help and service. And typically when we think of share economy companies, we think companies like Uber, Airbnb, Lyft, TaskRabbit, and others. And now that I've sort of explained that, let me ask you, have you, either you yourself personally or a friend or a family member, ever used a company or a service like Uber or Airbnb and Lyft? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So, all right, cool. We're all on the same page, so we don't need to belabor that. All right. Now, so we all kind of have a basic understanding of what a share economy company is all about. And when John and I looked at this definition and what other companies within the share economy are doing, our initial thought was that all social media platforms participated in the share economy. At least that's what we thought. However, on closer examination, we determined that that really wasn't the case at all. In fact, when we look at the granddaddy of social media, Facebook and Instagram, we looked at it and said, you know, really, in order to get any significant exposure to anything that we post on Facebook, you need to pay to play. In other words, and I'm sure you've experienced this, you have some amount of friends on Facebook, and sometimes when you post on Facebook, a very small fraction of your friends actually see the post. So in order to get more people to see it, you've got to pony up cash. And to me, that's really not sharing. That's not a part of the share economy, but it is Facebook's business model. It's a doggone good one. It's just not what we're really looking for here. And that brings to mind Twitter. That's probably the second largest social media. And of course, Twitter, yes, you could definitely share tweets, or what are called retweets or RTs. But the big problem with Twitter is that the half-life of a tweet is only 24 minutes, which means that half the people that will ever see your tweet will see it in the first 24 minutes, and it very quickly drops off thereafter. And it's only to your followers, not everyone on Twitter. And I don't know how many of you have any kind of a Twitter account, but in order to like generate any type of traffic with Twitter, you have to have a big following. Number one, a big following. And you have to be constantly engaged with these folks 4 or 5 times a day, tweeting. And that's just not what we're interested in. That is John and I. We like to do something once and potentially get benefits from that one thing over and over again, which is pretty much not possible on Twitter. So for the most part on Twitter, it's not worth sharing on that platform, unless, like as I say, you're on there all the time and you have a big following. Which brings to mind the third biggie in the social media realm, and that's LinkedIn. And of course, you could share content on LinkedIn, but once again, it's only shared with your connections, not with everyone on LinkedIn, and usually only within professional groups. Okay, and once again, it's with all of these, they all pay to play. You can get much more coverage by ponying up cash with Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, all those, the same deal. So when we looked at this, John and I really identified only one company, only one that truly participates in the share economy, and that is, in fact, Pinterest. And here is a big part of the reason why. Because any post that you put up on Pinterest can be seen by all Pinterest users. Not necessarily that it will be seen, but at least it can be seen by all Pinterest users. And the other thing is it can easily be found even years later. And the backbone and the culture of Pinterest, and this is what makes it so doggone powerful, is in sharing, or what Pinterest calls repinning. So now that I've kind of given you a thumbnail of Pinterest, let me know in the chat, do you currently have a Pinterest profile? Just yes or no. Are you currently on Pinterest? Yes or no? So, okay, I would say so far it's probably, I don't know, maybe a third of you are no's and the rest of you do have them. Okay, cool. Excellent. Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate that. That again helps us to sort of guide and put this together so it's of most value to you. Because here's the deal with Pinterest. For those of you that answer no, or maybe are just you have an account but you're not really sure how to use it, let me kind of walk you through sort of the basics of Pinterest. Pinterest is like an online bulletin board. Now, I'm sure you've had a cork board with thumbtacks and you know, where you put up pictures and notes and things like this. Well, that's basically what Pinterest is. But it's online. So it's an online bulletin board. And it's mostly for collecting visual pieces of multimedia. You know, you could pin things like cinemagraphs and animated GIFs and even YouTube videos. But by and large, the main thing that is shared on Pinterest are static images. Static images, you know, things like JPEGs and PNGs and GIF, just static images like you would see online anywhere. And here's the thing that I love. In fact, what I adore about Pinterest is that most Pinterest users use Pinterest to discover and save new ideas. That's why people use Pinterest. Pinterest is a search engine. And I'll give you an example of how I use it, and you'll understand from there, I think. So I am currently in the process of redecorating my master bedroom, okay? And I went to Pinterest to discover some new ideas, some ideas on how to redecorate my master bedroom. And so I went to Pinterest, it's a search engine. I typed in how to, or I think I put in master bedroom decorating ideas, those 4 words. And just it returned page after page of ideas in the form of pictures of different ideas for master bedrooms. And what I want you to understand is that these ideas could be any niche, including your niche. So these ideas can take the forms basically of things like recipes or cooking and DIY projects to fashion, to romance writing, to winter gardening, to just about any topic that you could think of under the sun. Guess what? There are people on Pinterest, there are devotees with boards on Pinterest to that topic. And that's really, really powerful, okay? Because every one of these ideas, whatever they happen to be, are represented by a pin that includes an image. Now, here's the thing. For the balance of today's training, when I say the word pin, I mean image. And when I say the word image, I want you to think pin, all right? So a pin is an image is a pin on Pinterest. And every pin always includes an image, but in addition, it can, though it doesn't necessarily have to, it can include a description, and I'll show you this, by the way. And importantly, so importantly, I've underlined it and made it red, okay? Importantly, a link to the image's source online. So you can get a link back to that image's source online. So a pin includes an image, a description, and a link back, essentially. And that link, it's basically embedded with underneath your image. So when people click your pin, they are taken to a URL where they could actually explore that idea more and perhaps even act on it. Okay. Now, what I'd like to do right now is I want to show you how to pin and repin how most people do it. Okay. So we're all up to speed on that. So I'm over here on Pinterest right now, or I'm going to be in just a second here. And let's go here. Okay. So here's Pinterest. And a couple things I want to show you. First off, before I show you how to pin and repin, let me make this really large so that you can see it. First thing I want you to see right up over here. You see where it says real fast results? This is my personal profile. Okay, this is it. And the first thing I want you to understand is that this name of your profile does not necessarily have to be your personal name, your given name. It could be, it can be that, but it could also be your brand, the name of the title of your book. It could be the title of your course. It could be just about anything, right? What John does, for example, John Kramer, he has John Kramer book marketing tips. That's the name of his profile. Okay, so that's the first thing I want you to understand is it does not have to be just your name. It could be anything you really want to put here. Now, the other thing that I want to say here, and this applies to the male of the species like myself, okay, the male of the species. About 80% of the active users on Pinterest are females, okay, are females. So, which by the way is great news if we want to sell things, because by and large, it's the females in our society that make the buy decisions. Okay, they're the ones that drive sales by and large. But here's what's been reported: if you put up a picture here, make sure that you put up a picture with you, the male, with a female. You know, I don't care if it's your lover, your wife, your aunt, your daughter, a stranger. I mean, I don't care who it is, as long as it's you and a female. Because what's been reported is that folks, some folks will be here and they'll see this creepy looking male looking back at them, and then they'll run. Okay, they'll actually take off and run. So to mitigate that, minimize that by using a picture of you and a female. Okay, so with that, let's actually do this. And let me show you how to pin and repin. As I said, it is a search engine, okay, a search engine. So I am into fast, fancy cars. And that's one of the reasons why I keep delivering all these. And I have a board. Remember, it's a bulletin board. You can have bulletin boards dedicated to any topic under the sun. I have a bulletin board called My Dream Cars. These are cars I either own or I'm going to buy. So because I'm interested in this, my next purchase is going to be this Porsche, a Porsche Macan in white. This is the one I'm looking for. So I've been looking at it, shopping it, adding it sort of to my wish list here of cars that I want to buy. Now, so I just typed in up here Porsche Macan in white, and I searched, and it basically returned all these results. And so let's kind of look through here to see what we've got. Ooh, this is nice. I don't think I've pinned that one yet. A lot of these I've already pinned because I'm really on this car. So let's see. What about? I don't think I've pinned this one. So I'm going to repin. I'm going to show you how to repin. So I'm going to click save here. And I'm going to come over here. Oh, before I do this, I want to show you this. Remember I said that you could have a description? You could add all kinds of content right over here. Now, I'm not going to do that because I'm showing you how to do what most users on Pinterest do, which is nothing. Okay, they just repin it onto their board and then they go on to the next thing. But you can add more content here. Now, I'm going to add this to my Dream Cars board. So I'm going to click Save. And there, it went up onto my Dream Cars board. Let's actually look at the board, and let's look at the pin on the board. And here we are. And there's our post. Now, if I were to click on this pin, because if this person is any kind of a marketer, which, by the way, this is another great thing about Pinterest. By and large, the people on Pinterest are not marketers. They're just hobbyists. They're enthusiasts about whatever their topic is, which is great news for us, the people that are using it for Pinterest, or excuse me, for marketing. But if I click on this image, it should take me somewhere, and it does. Great. So it takes me to a blog in Spanish on, and there's the picture I think I just did. So there, so good. So that's how it basically can work, right? So so that's how to pin or repin. Now the next thing I want to do here is I want to actually take you and show you how to pin from the beginning. So I'm going to go over here to, oops, wrong one. I sent it to the wrong one. It's Daniel Hall. DanielHall.name. So here's one of my blogs. And right up over here, I've got a blog post called Elmer Leonard's 10 Rules of Writing. And what I did, let me make this smaller so you can see the whole thing, is I made this graphic. You see this graphic right here? If it sounds like writing, I rewrite it. And don't worry, I'm going to show you how to create an image like this a little later on in a demo. But essentially, all I did was I took about 5 minutes, created this this graphic. I then did a short blog post about 100 words, 150 words, and I uploaded it here to my blog. Okay, now if I want to pin it, which is what I'm teaching you to do here, I would just come over here and click the little Pinterest icon, and it will open up this dialog box just like this. And I could put this on any number of boards. Now, see, I belong to all of these boards. I am either it is my personal board or I am a member of some of these boards, and a lot of them are writer based. So lots of great boards here, like book marketing. I think I'm going to put it on this board. I don't think I've put it yet on this board. So I'm actually going to save it to this board, just like that. Now, if I go to that pin, just click See It Now. We've now uploaded this pin to this board, and now here's where magic happens. Okay, if somebody comes along here, sees that, oh, this is good content, this looks interesting, clicks on it, where does it take them? It takes them back to my blog, right? Where I could get their, have an offer to get their name and email address. They can buy the book. I have a book called Real Fast Writing. They can get the book that way. And that's one of the things that makes Pinterest so doggone powerful, right? And here's what I want you to understand about Pinterest. It is the only platform that actively encourages users to organize boards dedicated to niches that people are actually interested in. And it's visually stimulating. You kind of saw how that works. It's visually stimulating and fun to browse. In fact, it's been reported that some people would rather be browsing Pinterest than watching television. And the first time I heard that, I just called malarkey, and I called BS on that. But the more I thought about it, and I said, of course that's true, because at least on Pinterest, you can you could be involved with the exact content, the exact subject matter that you're interested in, that you're passionate about. So yeah, that makes perfect sense. The other thing about Pinterest is it makes it easy to add clickable links anywhere you want to send people, you know, which by the way is completely different than something like Instagram, you know, also an image-based thing. You click on an Instagram image and it takes you nowhere, right? You've got to hunt for, you know, for where to go click on Instagram. They make it hard. They want you to stay on Instagram. Pinterest, they have no issues with you taking off. Okay, that's the other thing. Is it actively encourages users to share pins and repins with links to your offers, links to your Amazon book listings that also get shared with your images, and these pins can get shared and reshared and reshared over and over again and can generate clicks for years to come. Okay, now if you are not looking at your computer screen right now, I would recommend that you come look at your screen right now, because this graphic that I have up here is really good at explaining how the exponential sharing on Pinterest happens. So let's say that this person right here is you, okay? You create a pin, and once again, I'm going to show you how to do that here in due course, but you create a pin related to your niche, to your subject matter, to the subject matter of your book. You create that pin, you pin it on Pinterest. These people here, they are likewise interested in your subject matter, and because Pinterest is a search engine and or they follow you, they find your pin, and because it's good content, because you follow what we're going to tell you to do here, they repin it, and on it goes. The people that have repinned it once, they repin the repins, and so it goes on and on, such that you get all of the clicks back to you. Because remember, each time that your image is shared, your link is also shared, so you get more eyeballs on your offers, and consequently, you stand to make much more money, all on autopilot, okay? Which, by the way, this makes perfect sense, because the average pin on Pinterest is actually repinned 11 times. Now, we're going to show you how to be way above average, but think about that for just a second, that the average pin, just you don't know anything, you don't know how to do anything on Pinterest, the average pin is repinned 11 times, okay? So what I want to do now is show you how to be way above interest, and we're going to do that here in a case study. And for that, I want to bring my my good friend John Kramer on to kind of walk you through our skinny rules, our skinny rules graphic here that kind of got us started. So, John, can you take people through this?
Yeah, Daniel. When I first started on Pinterest about 5.5 years ago, I saw this, black and white graphic, the skinny rules, which promoted Bob Harper's book, The Skinny Rules, How to Get Thin. And Bob Harper at that time was part of The Biggest Loser on NBC. And what I did, I looked at it and I said, well, that's good information. I should share it. But it's kind of ugly, just black and white. It's kind of boring. So I decided to make it prettier. So I put a pink border around it. I didn't have that much graphic skills at the time. So anyway, I took this pink bordered graphic, I wrote about the 20 rules on a blog post, and then pinned the graphic from my blog post. And in the next 30 days, I got over 40,000 repins of that image. And I said, wow, if I'm getting that many repins from, a relatively ugly post or image, what if I made it prettier? So I took the colors on the book cover, blue and yellow, and made a tall, thin graphic with the 20 rules in there, and I pinned that, and it's that graphic that has driven over 168,000 people to my website. And was repinned over 1.4 million times, and probably in the first 2 years, and probably by now maybe 2.3 million. I don't know, because Pinterest doesn't give me that information anymore, because they want me to buy ads, but I don't buy ads because I get so much traffic without it. So that's the really powerful thing about it, is that the pin has lasted for 5 years and is still driving traffic to my website without me doing anything about it. And as Daniel told you, a tweet lasts, such a short time. The half-life of a tweet is 24 minutes. Half-life of a Facebook post is 90 minutes. That means that half the people that will ever see the typical Facebook post will see it in the first 90 minutes. After that, the return on your investment of time goes down and down. Nobody interacts with your Facebook post normally after the first 90 minutes, while the half-life of a Pinterest pin is 3.5 months. That's 1,700 times more opportunity for people to interact with your pin, to get engaged with it, to repin it, to follow the pin to your website than with the typical Facebook post. And that's really the power of Pinterest, is how it lasts. It's 6,000 times more opportunity for people to interact with your Pinterest pin than with a tweet. And just think of the power of that. And even more important, people click through on pins and repins at an astounding rate. In my experience, anywhere from 2% to 25% of the people that see your image will click through to your website. They're ready and willing to visit your sales pages, your opt-in pages, your blog posts, anything that gives them more information on the things that they are passionate about. And the question, can you do this? Can you create something like this? The one on the left was created by writeathome.com. The three on the right are typographics that I created, mainly using Microsoft Word. And they drove over 700,000 people to were repinned by 700,000 people and drove almost 100,000 people to my website in the first 2 years. But what's really neat is that in the next 3 years, I got 13,000 more visits, almost 25,000 more visits, almost 22,000 more visits, almost 7,000 more visits from these 4 images without me doing anything more. It was the repins of the repins that did it. It drove 66,726 visits in 3 years with just these 4 pins on autopilot. I mean, I think that that's really significant. And the neat thing is, it happens quickly. When you forgive, this quote graphic here that I created, and then I blogged about it, and then I pinned it, and within 10 years, I mean, it's 10 years, within 10 minutes of having 10 hours, sorry, 10 hours of pinning it, 15 people that followed me repinned it. So that's how fast it can happen. But more important, 266 other people pinned that image, and they weren't following me. They were following the people that follow me. And that's what can happen so quickly. And the neat thing is, this is something that anyone can do. Sarah is one of our course participants, and she said, my Pinterest and Twitter followers have exploded since I started this program, as well as my blog and website hits. So it works well for anybody if you follow the things that we're teaching you during this webinar. And this is the power of the Pinterest share economy, because it is a peer-to-peer social media platform. That's why 2 million people use Pinterest every month to search, because it's user created content. It's user, I'm going blank on the word, but it's people curating it. That's a user curated content. Whereas Google is, some strange algorithm that, nobody can figure out from day to day what it's doing. But the people are using it and curating it. And, if you want to find the keys to a woman's soul, follow her on Pinterest, because everybody that joins Pinterest over time will create boards that are about their passions, the things that they're interested in. The 6 most popular things on Pinterest, I call the 6 F's: fitness and health, food and recipes, fashion, family, parenting, children, anything funny, and anything with cute animals, but also inspiration, motivation, design, home decor, recipes, crafts, hobbies, beautiful homes, travel, and whatever other passion that they have. As Daniel said, 80% of the active users on Pinterest are women, 20% are men, but those 20% that are men is more than the people that subscribe to Sports Illustrated and GQ combined. So that's a big audience, and they love tech, they love cars, they love sports, they love nature, they love travel. So you have lots of opportunities to reach a lot of people through Pinterest because of what they're passionate about. Users browse their interests on Pinterest and discover new things. This is how money is made through Pinterest. Sometimes they will repin those images to one of their boards to look at later, but most often they'll click through on the image if they like it without saving it necessarily. And they'll click on to check out the product or resources that they're interested in, and they will often buy from that. But sometimes they save it to a wish list to buy later. And Daniel, you have a great story about one of your colleagues
Yeah,
and
I
how they
do.
did it.
Yeah, well, this is actually what kind of woke me up to just the great power of Pinterest. And I think when you hear this, you'll understand what I'm talking about. So I was out to lunch with a colleague of mine. We were at this pizza restaurant, and we had just finished lunch. She had walked outside walked outside when we were finished, and I'd gone to the restroom to wash my hands, and I came back out, and she was sitting on a bench out in front of this pizza restaurant, kind of scrolling over her, with her thumb on her phone. You know how people do; they kind of just browse. And I sat down next to her, looked over her shoulder, and she was on Pinterest, and she gets all excited because she finds this bracelet that she just absolutely adores. She loves it, and I see her save it to one of her boards, and I said, what did you just do? And she says, I saved it to, my jewelry board. By the way, it was an Etsy store that she actually was looking at, and she says, when I get home, and I'm not out in public like we are now, and I feel safe to whip out my credit card, I'm gonna buy that bracelet. And it was at that time that I'm like, kind of 2x4 to the head. Oh, this is how people are using Pinterest. They're just kind of looking for stuff that they're interested in. They're saving it to boards, and that they're into, that they're passionate about. She's into like handmade jewelry and stuff. And this is how people are using Pinterest. Like, okay, now I get it. So I wanted to tell that story because I think it's demonstrative of just how many people are using Pinterest in just this kind of way. I mean, millions and millions of them are, as it turns out. So yeah, and the really cool thing is that they buy, right, John?
Yes, in fact, there were a study done by Shopify, which provides e-commerce stores to a lot of people, and they found that the average order value of sales coming from Pinterest is $50, and that's higher than any other major social platform. And Pinterest is the #2 overall source of all social media traffic to Shopify e-commerce stores. #1 is Facebook ads, but you have to pay for those. 2 million people pin product pins on Pinterest every day. 93% of Pinterest users use the platform to plan their purchases, wish lists, shopping lists, bucket lists. And 87% of Pinterest users have bought something online after browsing pins. 87% have bought. I don't think you'll find any other social network with that kind of 87%, that kind of stat. And now I wanted to talk to you a little bit about what I have found to be the 2 most effective kinds of pins that really drive traffic. One is quote graphics, inspirational, funny, or motivational quotes related to your product or service. and typographics, which are tall, thin graphics with 5 to 20 tips. You can take them from your book or from a blog post, whatever, and features a product shot, book cover, or a photo of a person. And those are, you can think of the shape of a viral Pinterest graphic as tall and thin. The minimum should be 300 by 800 pixels or about that. And it can be up to 734 pixels wide, and as long as you want to make it. The optimal pin, I think, is around 730 by about 1100. But those can be very effective. You want it to be tall and thinner rather than broad because that doesn't show up well on Pinterest. You want condensed content from your book if you're a book author, or great tips on how to use your product or service, or content from a blog post that you're doing so that you can pin the graphic that you create along with your blog post. Use colors found, bright colors found on the cover of the product, the picture of the cover of the product. And then when you upload it, link to your product page, a sales page, an Amazon listing, email capture page, or a landing page. You can send the link anywhere you want. And that's really a neat thing about the power of Pinterest. And I wanted to show you, this is one, the Pixar 22 Rules of Storytelling that I created about 2 weeks ago. And in the first 48 hours, I got 1,100 repins. And in the next 5 days, I got around 3,800 repins of that graphic. And so it's still working today. It's still driving traffic. And this, again, was something that I created in about 5 minutes. And, so think of it in terms of how it can drive traffic. That, again, was linked to my website where people could, again, buy my product, buy my book, buy my whatever else. Now, I want you to know that a typographic is different from the infographics that you might have heard of. Those 4 graphics on the left, they're pretty, but they don't really work that well. Not nearly as well as this typographic on the right that I created in 10 minutes. There are 2 reasons why these infographics don't work well. One is they take too long to create. Most of these probably took 2 to 3 hours, possibly a couple of days to create. The 18 things, I created that in 15 minutes and boom, I was getting traffic right away. The other thing is that 80% of all social media, not just Pinterest, but any social media, is accessed through a mobile phone. And smartphone users, you can't read these infographics on a smartphone. You can read the typographic on a smartphone. With the infographics, you have to magnify, you have to scroll back and forth and all kinds of stuff like that. And if you've ever watched anybody using their smartphone, they don't work. If it doesn't grab their attention right away and tell them, hey, this leads to good content, they're not going to click through, and you want them to click through. With the 18 things high achievers do, they click through. I think, what was it, around 40 to 50,000 people clicked through to my website because of that one graphic. So, avoid those infographics, create typographics, or create good quote graphics. These are easy to create and they're really fun to create. Coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous. Albert Einstein, 30,000 repins. Take time to do what makes your soul happy. Over 212,000 repins. Nobody cares about your excuses. It's your ass. You move it. 2,500 repins. Thing to know about this is that quote graphics with images do better. They get more repins, they get more shares, and they get more click-throughs to your website. And we can show you one here. The neat thing is Pinterest actually promotes for you. This is an email that I got. It says you got 18 new ideas waiting for you, and one of them was my pin, the Oprah Winfrey quote. Nothing makes me happier than to see other people in their purest moments of joy. And boom, I got a lot of traffic because Pinterest was promoting it to a lot of different people. And that's what they do. They send me 2 or 3 emails every day, encouraging me to come back on Pinterest and repin some stuff, and I do. So the big question is, when should you start using Pinterest? And Daniel, I think you want to ask more about
Yeah,
this.
yeah. So this is a really super important question, and I'd love to know how you feel about this. You know, the main question is, when should you start using Pinterest? Put a 1 in the chat if you think it's better to sell when you have a group to sell to. And in other words, you know, you've got a group to sell, you've got an audience to sell to. Put a 1 in the chat if you think that's a good idea, and put a 2 in the chat if you think it's better to create your offer, finish your book, and get it up for sale before you start looking for an audience. So let me hear from you in the chat. Are you a 1 or a 2? When do you think is the best time to start that process? Okay, awesome. Yeah. Well, we have a lot of folks here. Great. So, all right. So this is not a trick question, believe it or not. The answer depends. That's really the main thing that you have to understand. That the best time to start using Pinterest is right now, regardless of where you are in the process. I'll give you an example. Let's say that you are still in the process of writing your book. Okay, you're still in the process of writing the book. It's not done. Wouldn't it be nice to have an audience when the book is done and ready to launch to actually talk to promote to launch your book to? So in other words, if your book is still in process, I hope that you chose 1. Okay, that it's better to have a group to sell to than to find a group and then you know, and hope that your book sells, right? The other thing, by the way, about this is that you could also know what's resonating with your demographic by working with them as you're writing your book. Okay, you know what pins will take off, you know what subject matter takes off, and what gets more repins and what gets more clicks. That's really very, very valuable intelligence for you, in addition to building the audience. Now, on the other hand, if you already have your book written, then 2 is probably the best choice. That you need to go out and look. If you don't already have an audience, you need to go out and look for that audience. You need to actually start doing that right now. So in either case, regardless of where you are with your project or your book, the time to start is now on Pinterest, not tomorrow. It's not. Please do not wait. Do not do yourself that disservice. Okay. So cool. Now here's the other thing I wanted to do here. We teach many ways to make money on Pinterest. And we're gonna tell you more about that with our Real Fast Social Graphics course here in a couple minutes. But before I did that, I wanted to actually choose one of you and build an entire funnel for you on Pinterest. Okay, so I have chosen. Let me see here. And by the way, you have got to be here to win this. Do we have Robin here? They Dream in Darkness, author of They Dream in Darkness, this book right here. Robin, are you here? Okay, Robin's here. Yay. Okay, cool. So Robin, I'm going to you're going to be the example. So we're going to actually do this for you right now. Everyone else, you can emulate this. You can model what I'm about to teach you here. Okay. All right. First thing I want to do, let me find out a little bit about this book. This is, what kind of a book is this? This is a, well, tell me, Robin, what kind of book is this? It is contemporary fiction. Okay, cool. Nonfiction crime. Okay, cool. Excellent. So let's actually do the first step here. Is I'm going to introduce you to my friend here called the Jing Sun. You see this little piece of software right here? This is a free piece of software called Jing Sun, or actually it's just Jing. We call it the Jing Sun because it looks like a little sun. And it can take screen capture images for you. So we're going to grab a shot of your cover here. So I've just clicked on it, and we're just going to grab the image here, and we're going to save this. If I can find there it is. Capture the image, and we're going to put this on my desktop. I'm just going to call it True Crime, and we're going to save it. Okay, so I'm going to put it here, put it there. Okay, so that's step one. Is you've got kind of, this is not what you're going to pin, by the way. It's going to be a part of what we're going to create of the pin, but by and large, book covers in and of themselves do not work as pins. I mean, you could definitely pin them, it's just not going to probably generate much traffic. So the next thing I want to do here is I want to introduce you to this website. It's called canva.com. I love canva.com because you could do really pretty high quality designs with it very quickly and for free. Okay, so you can have a free account here at Canva. So I'm actually going to use our recommended dimensions, which are 300 by 800, or actually John likes 700 by 1100. So let's go with that. It doesn't really matter as long as it's at least 300 by 800. But basically they're long and thin, like a bookmark. And that, oops, I don't like that actually. That I don't like. Nope. Not happy with that. I'm gonna try that again. I'm gonna try it this way. Let's go with maybe 1500 or 1600. There we go. There we go. Much better. Okay. And as you note here, this is a bookmark shaped image that we're going to actually now upload this cover that we just brought in. So we're going to grab this True Crime, and there, it's now uploading, right? Now the next thing I want to do is I'm going to come over here and we're going to look for a crime. Well, let's actually do this a couple different ways. We're going to look at true crime quotes. See if there's anything here. If not, I know crime prevention quotes would be good. Let's see. Oh, well, let's see. Goodreads. Oh, here's brainy quotes. Let's look at some of these and see if any of this works. Because we're going to be making, what we're making here, by the way, is a quote graphic. Let's see here. Let's see. We got Hunter S. Thompson, Ben Shapiro. Let's see here. Yeah, this is a little bit Drew Carey. Let's see. Liquor prohibition led to the rise of organized crime in America, and drug prohibition has led to the rise of gang problems we have now. I'm not sure if that really fits this book, but I like this quote. Yes,
Daniel,
go ahead.
Robin says the child slavery one would fit the book.
Child slavery. Did I miss that one up here?
Yeah, there's one that's up higher.
Okay, so here's another really cool thing that you can do. You can hit Control F on your screen and just hit child, or there it is. This is the one right here. You see what I just did? I hit Control F and it looks for whatever word I put up here. This is in Chrome. And there it is. How about this one? Great. Thank you for that, Adam. Appreciate that. So we're going to grab this quote, copy, and we're going to actually take it back over here, and we're going to go to text. We're going to add heading and then Control V, and there it is. There's our quote. Now, obviously, it's too much, too large, I should say. So we're gonna actually click in that area. You don't actually have to highlight it. Just click anywhere in this dotted box and come over here to font size, and let's probably go down to maybe a 21. We could probably have that. Yeah. Okay, and let's get rid of some of this other extraneous stuff. Let's make it a proper quote like that, and do this. There we go. Okay. Now the other thing I want to do, now that we have our quote, we're going to come back over here to our uploads, and we're going to bring in Robin's cover. So there's our cover. Let's see. The other thing I want to do here is let's get a sort of a better background. You could do that over here, background color, and let's choose maybe a gray. Let's take a look at that. That looks pretty good so far. And the other thing I want to do here is let's actually, I don't really like this font, so we're going to change the font. Once again, I'm going to click within here, not the font size, but just the font itself. So you're going to change it, and by the way, when you're looking for a font, especially for this application, you want a font that's big and bold and easy to read. Okay, big, bold, and easy to read, not necessarily fancy, okay, or elegant. That's not what we're after here. Something, let's look at this. Maybe this will work. No, I'm not a fan of that. Let's try another one. Let's try maybe Hammersmith one. No, not happy with that either. So this is how how about this one? This is going to work. Yeah, I'm happy with this. Okay, cool. So we got that. Now, the other thing I want to do here is, let's see, child slavery is a crime against humanity. Humanity itself is at stake here. Let's see, a lot of work still remains, but I could still see the end of child in my lifetime. Okay, cool. So we will, let's actually have somewhat of a provocative headline. So I'm going to actually do this. I like to ask questions in headlines because we want to engage people. So, is child, or does child slavery exist in your backyard? By the way, as you can tell, you don't need to be a good typist to make a lot of money as a writer. I'm living proof of that. Okay, so that's pretty provocative. Let's actually change this up here to our font. Now you see that there's a lot of space in between these lines. You could actually come up here and adjust that by clicking within the box, and then go to spacing, and then you can actually adjust this like that. And let's look at something like maybe this. Okay, there we go. All right, now The next thing I want to do here is, let's make this, the next thing I want to do is I want to kind of dress the middle part of this up right here. So I'm going to go over to the elements, and then to shapes, and then to the little square, and then put our little square on here just like this. And I am going to adjust this like this and actually change this to white, a white background like this. And you're like, Daniel, you've just you just covered up the text. Well, we're going to actually take care of that by coming up to where it says arrange up here and sending what's highlighted here to the back, just like that. Okay. Now, the other thing that we could do is we could actually make this a little bit more transparent by once again clicking the white box and coming up to this area and then adjusting the transparency, something kind of more like this, maybe. There. Okay, I think that's looking pretty doggone good. Now, the other thing that I want to do here is you've noticed I've left a little space at the very bottom. I always reserve this space for either branding, like your website, or a call to action. And since I'm going to be sending people directly to Robin's listing on Amazon, we're going to put a call to action here. So I'm going to go heading and then grab the book here. I'll grab the book on Amazon. Now, okay. We're going to adjust this. Maybe I can get away with an 18. Yeah, I think we could do that. And then we're going to come over here, move all this down, and there we go. Now, I'd really like to kind of set this book up a little bit better. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to do the same thing again with the elements down here. I'm going to make this white, and we're going to bring this to the very bottom. Something kind of like this, maybe, and stretch that across there. And let's send that to the back. There we go. And maybe make this a little bit, I'm gonna move that up a little bit. Actually, let me adjust this. Make this just a little bit smaller, just a little bit, not much. Sometimes I feel like Bob Ross when I'm doing this. So we're gonna bring that over here and put it on top like that, and then come back over here and adjust the transparency. Let's see, we had this transparent at, what did we do? We have that's at 78%. So we're going to actually do the same thing here, is we're going to go transparent to 78. So it's equal. There we go. And all right. By the way, one of the cool things about Canva here, I don't know if you noticed, but if you, it will actually snap, it'll give you this line that's in the middle. You see how when I do that, there's these lines that kind of go right through the center of it. That lets you know that it's perfectly centered within that area. Same thing I could do here, right? See how it snaps a line right across the middle, and that just lets you know if you let go of the mouse right there that it's going to be perfectly centered on the image. That's what that line is all about. So I think that's looking pretty doggone good, actually. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to come over here to File and say Save, and we've saved it. Now we're going to download it. Now, if you're not looking at your computer screen right now, remember I was talking about nuances a little earlier. I'm going to show you another nuance right now, because as we download this, what we're going to do here is we are going to name the image itself under some keywords. So what I want to do here is we're going to get rid of all that, and we're going to call this true crime story, and maybe child, maybe exploitation. And the reason why we're doing this, by the way, so that you're clear, is this, if somebody's interested in true crime stories on Pinterest or even on Google, and your image is named with keywords related to your book or whatever it is you're offering, it is much more likely that the exact people that you want to find that pin will find it. Okay, because it will come. It is a much higher likelihood that it will be returned in the search results. Okay, so we're actually going to save that. Okay, so there's our image. Now let's come back over to Pinterest and pin it. So to do that, I'm going to go here to this little white cross and then hit upload image. Now I'm going to go look for that image, true crime story, child exploitation. Click on that, and we're going to upload that. Okay, cool. Now, here you're probably wondering, well, how do we actually make this work, right? Well, right here is how you do it. If you come over to grab the URL here, I'm going to grab that, copy, and then add to the website. Boom. So there's our URL. So when somebody clicks on it, where are they going to go? They're going to go to Robin's book. Okay. Now the next thing we're going to do is I'm going to add another or let's just say be a part of the solution. Grab the book on Amazon now. Now the other thing I want to do is I'm actually going to grab some of this this text here. And again, I love the way that this ends with a question. Okay, so we're actually going to copy that. I'm not sure. This is a lot of text. It may not all fit. Let's see. It probably will. We'll see here. I think it's quite a bit. Let's actually take out some of this because otherwise I don't think it will work, because you can't get like a whole article in here. But maybe from here. So we're going to get rid of that, and maybe this will work. That should work. All right, so we're going to click done. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to give you a board to add it to. Now, if you had a true crime or a true crime writer or a any kind of associated or complementary topic or subject matter, you could add it to that board. Now, for us, I've got a board called articles and resources here, and I'm going to add it to that board. Okay, so we're going to actually hit save, and there it is. Now, if I see that now up on Pinterest and I click it, where does it take us? just like that, right over to Robin's book. Okay, that's the power of Pinterest. Okay, so I also wanted to show you here that that you could definitely make money on Pinterest as well. Now, John and I primarily use Pinterest to build our email list. But I asked John, I said, John, we need to show people that you could actually make money with this. So John says, okay. He set up a couple of tests, and basically, you can see here that John's making between $700 and $800 every month from, and he's not even trying, with Pinterest. And not only is it John, I mean, but Felicitas here, one of our many students, she says, I'm happy to report I've recovered more than I paid for the Real Fast Pinterest course by being an affiliate. It's kind of a set it and forget it kind of thing, really. And I love that. Plus, I love what Dennis Kashkin says here. Now, Dennis Kashkin is the founder of Board Booster, which is a SaaS, a software as a service that we love. And Dennis, by the way, is a certified genius, and he also works at the highest levels with brands and bloggers on Pinterest exclusively. And he said some people earn up to $50,000 per month just from blogging and pinning. So my question for you, one other thing, Tom Antion, just to kind of show you that it doesn't have to be necessarily books. It could be actually higher priced products and services that you could sell. Another one of our students, Tom Antion, said after taking Real Fast Social Graphics, he designed this pin called 21 Reasons a Protection Dog is Better Than a Man, and pinned it to one of his boards. He sells, among other things, he's got many businesses, but among other things, he sells protection dogs. And he says that this typographic generated traffic to protectiondogselite.com that resulted so far in 2 $20,000 elite protection dog sales. So $40,000 in sales from just one typographic. So my question for you is this. Are you excited that you have finally found a way to build your business on autopilot? Let me hear from you in the chat. You see this for yourself? You get it? You see the power here? Excellent. Awesome. Thank you. All right, cool. So what I'd like to do now is take a few minutes to introduce you to Real Fast Social Graphics, which, by the way, is a course that John and I have been working with and on and updating for about almost 5 years now, and it's been completely updated for 2018. And what this is a total system for Pinterest success. And this is the great thing, that this system is specifically designed for, well, people like you and me, okay, that are not necessarily great graphic designers or marketers. Now, if you are a good marketer, or if you do know how to, do graphic designs, so much the better, but you definitely don't need that for success on Pinterest using what we teach you within Real Fast Social Graphics. In fact, at the core, at the very center of Real Fast Social Graphics, we show you how to master money making on Pinterest. And we do that in a variety of ways. For example, we show you how to build images that practically beg to be shared over and over again. And I'll remind you, with your link. And you could well have, an outlier like we did, and have, basically over $1 million, or excuse me, 1 million people repin that. We also show you how to, what we call repin for the win. Now, the majority of activity activity on Pinterest is in repinning. So we show you how to actually repin for profits. In these strategies, use existing images so that you can get maximum clicks and sharing, which, by the way, is a huge time saver and, of course, a money maker, because you're using what's already been created. It's already on Pinterest, but you're using it in a totally different way that most people don't even think about. They can't even fathom, but you will have that. Not only that, we're going to show you. Here's another thing I'll tell you, that if you know where and when to look, it is possible to discover what is hot and trending in your niche on Pinterest. So we show you how to do that. And what's so cool about it is things start trending on Pinterest before they start trending in their bigger, broader marketplace. So we show you how to use those trends to drive traffic to your buy buttons and to your offers. So you're going to get that. Plus, if you are selling anything online, if you have any kind of buy button out there or add to cart button out there on Amazon, Etsy, eBay, Shopify, or if you're on your own website, I'm going to tell you, Pinterest and e-commerce, it's like a match made in heaven. So we show you how to do that as well within this training. And of course, we show you how to create effective pins, even if you are like John and I, tragically unartistic. We show you how to use programs that you probably already have on your machine right now. Programs like PowerPoint and MS Word. And even if you don't have those programs or you don't want to use them, we show you free solutions like Pablo and TypeSlab. And I love Canva. We already introduced you to Canva, which, by the way, these are all free to use. Plus, we're going to show you how to profit in 5 minutes a day. Okay, this is perfect for the busy person who has who wants to get the maximum benefit out of a minimum amount of time and hassle and energy. Now, I'm willing to confess to you that many of the time I've gone to Facebook to quote unquote, I'm doing air quotes here, quote unquote, interact with influencers and engage with influencers to build my business, right? And 3 or 4 hours later, all I've done is I've liked a few people's posts and watched a whole lot of videos. That's what I've done, and really got nothing done. That is not how we roll on Pinterest. We show you how to get in and get off on Pinterest and get the benefits that are there for you. Plus, if you are an author, oh, mamma mia, we're going to show you the secrets of building your author platform and expert status. I mean, folks like Brian Tracy, Tony Robbins, John Lee Dumas, Guy Kawasaki, these sorts of folks that do nonfiction things, they use Pinterest to build their platform, but it's not just them. Even folks like Janet Ivanovich and James Patterson and Jody Picolet, these folks are also using Pinterest to further build their platform. Okay, so we show you what they're doing, how they're doing it, how they're using it to create more fans for themselves, more readers for their books, and a bigger platform. Plus, another thing I wanted to show you here, I think you're going to be very interested in. If you look up on this screen right now, up in the top right-hand corner, you see where it says Johanna Basford. You know Johanna, you know what her claim to fame is? You know what she does? She sells adult coloring books, okay? Not the erotica, okay? But like mandalas and pretty pictures and things that are therapeutic for adults to color, okay? She's built a massive following doing that. And down here at the bottom the bottom left-hand corner, if you're a blogger, the Brown Sugar food blog, oh my gosh, she's like really adding lots of additional folks to her subscriber base for her blog. So this, you can use Pinterest, in other words, to build your author platform, which is what it's all about, which is what I'm hoping you see here, and what, if you will become one of our students, you will learn as well. The other thing, and you're going to love this as well, is group boards. And I wrote here, group boards equals group love. And we're going to teach you a little bit more here about group boards. And for that, I'm going to bring John back on. John, can you tell folks about group boards, what they are, and why they are a part of our training?
Yes, group boards are basically any board that you have, you can create as a group board simply by inviting other people to collaborate with you. Like this blogging and internet marketing graphic here on Joe Com's web profile. That's my group board that he joined. I invited him and Mike Koenigs and Jason Fladian, Daniel Hall, and about 65 other people to pin on that group board. The neat thing about that group board is that I control the look and feel of it. So you can see the graphic there is Pinterest is where viral book marketing lives. And that's showcased on everybody who's a member, a collaborator with this group. Joe Com, Mike Koenigs, Jason Fladian, Daniel Hall, and the other 67 people that are part of that group board. So it's a nice way by inviting other people to collaborate with you on a group board. It's a nice way to get exposure to a lot of other people. More important, in the course, we teach you how to find really good group boards for your topic and how to join them, so that you will get, you can start being members of group boards that might have 20,000 or 30,000 or even 100,000 followers. And that's one of the best ways to start to become more popular on Pinterest. People will follow you if you pin good content to the group boards that you're part of. And that's why it's called Group Love.
And so obviously that's a big module within Real Fast Social Graphics. And the other thing that we have for you is this exclusive board booster training. Now, I mentioned Dennis Kashkin a little while ago. Dennis is the developer and CEO of this SaaS program that we love called Board Booster, and he helps some of the biggest bloggers and brands that are presently using Pinterest. And because he's helping them essentially with this software and one-on-one, he knows a lot of the best practices that are closely guarded, okay, that are at the top, for the top people. And we got him to actually do in a separate training for you. That you get as a part of Real Fast Social Graphics. The other thing we got him to do is a 3-month give you a 3-month free access to his automated software called Board Booster, which, by the way, we love Board Booster, but it is not necessary for success with Real Fast Social Graphics. It's a nice add-on. It's an adjunct, and I think you're going to love it. Now, if you do end up using it and loving it, we also got a special deal where you could actually stay a member of Board Booster for just $5 a month. So this is not gonna, if you want to, stick with it. And by the way, that's not an affiliate relationship. That's just $5 a month for you to be a member of Board Booster. But once again, nice to have, not necessary for being a part of Real Fast Social Graphics. Although I will say that I learned a lot when he did the exclusive Board Booster training. Again, because he knows some of the top best practices out there that a lot of folks don't know. The other thing that that I'm always telling my own clients, my own customers, and my own coaching customers is to be cooperating with other folks in their niche, to be doing things together, and that's easy to do with building what's called a tribe on Pinterest. So we show you how to build tribes on Pinterest, and why you do this is because it turbocharges your peer-to-peer sharing, so that your pin, whatever pin you're putting up, gets shared even faster and to a wider group of potential buyers. Now, here's the other thing that I think you're going to love. In fact, if you're not looking at your computer screen now, come look at it, because we show you how to piggyback traffic on daily television shows like Dr. Oz, like The View, and others. And here's the story. We actually looked at and noticed that if we had a pin that related to some big celebrity or some big author that was appearing on one of these programs, that often, though not always, often we would see a spike in repins and traffic to our sites. So we said, aha, I wonder if we could actually do this on purpose. And sure enough, you can, okay? So we show you how to figure out who is going to be on one of these major shows and how to then actually pick them before they appear, before the show actually airs, how to pick the author, how to pick the celebrity, how to create a pin so that once again you stand a chance of predictably getting traffic off the buzz, off the massive media buzz that is generated by somebody appearing on one of these shows. So you get that as well. And I got to tell you that we could actually make the whole course this one module, and this one module is worth many multiples of what we are asking in an investment for this training. Not only that, not only do you get that, but you also get our personal help. John and I have this private members only Facebook group where we are in there helping folks. And I don't know if you could see the little round pictures at the bottom right, or yeah, the bottom right hand corner. We have over 800 members when this was taken. Now we have over 1,000 plus members of this, and there's been some very smart cookies in this group. So it's not just John and I helping here, but there's some really named folks in here, the very smart, savvy marketers in this group. The other thing I want you to understand is that John and I have been talking about adding a $97 a month fee to belong to this group. And everyone that is already a member, including you, will be grandfathered if we do that. So you're going to get that as well. All right. So again, lifetime access to that, which is basically a $1,200 annual value. Plus, I realize that you want to hit the ground running. So we have Canva templates and 5 done for you Canva and Pinterest templates and Canva training for you. So literally within 20 minutes from right now, you could be up and running with this bonus training. Now, here's the other thing. These are kind of fun. If you look at your computer screen right now, you will see what a cinemagraph looks like. A cinemagraph. And what we notice is that these cinemagraphs attract attention, right? And you can see why when you look at them. Well, we actually have added a complete how to create cinemagraphs for use on Pinterest with PowerPoint, okay? We show you how to create these with PowerPoint, your PowerPoint program. So you're going to get that as well. And as I said, we've had well over 1,000 students. So I don't know how many we've had, but I know we had at least 1,000 because we have at least 1,000 in our Facebook group. But Judith is one of them, and she says, I have just discovered that traffic to my Proofread NZ website has, as of the 30th of November, tripled from a very consistent 8-year performance level. So again, tripled from 8 years, that's again, pretty astonishing and very predictable actually. And when you understand what Pinterest can do for you, like for example, if you look at your screen right now, write down where we have that highlighted. You see where it says words and 26 pins. This is actually one of our students. And what this is, a screen capture of, is an email that that Pinterest sent to John. We said a little earlier that that Pinterest will can actually promote you not just on Pinterest, but off Pinterest in emails as well. And this is a perfect example of one of our students being featured. So yeah, it's no wonder that so many of our students see the kind of traffic that they do, because hey, Pinterest is promoting you on Pinterest and off Pinterest because your content is good. Probably great, okay? That's it. So the other thing that you're going to get is we have a number of bonuses for you, like Facebook marketing for authors and experts to get more fans, the Twitter Mania Manual, the secret to building an incredibly fanatical following on Twitter, and how to use LinkedIn to promote yourself as an author or expert, find promotional partners, and build long-lasting and useful relationships. You see, taken together, this is a social marketing suite for, well, folks like you and I, authors, publishers, information product creators, internet marketers, and experts of every kind. Now, you're probably wondering, dang, this sounds great. How much is it to get in? Well, the sale price is $497. In other words, when we put this on sale, it's $497. That is not your investment. With a very special deal that Adam worked out with us, you get this very special deal when you go to realfastsocialgraphics.com/Adam. You will see that you get a whopping big discount. That link is in your chat right now. Could somebody click on that link and let me know that it's working? It's in the chat. It's not in the questions field. It's another line item, one up or down from that questions form field. You'll see one that says chat. If you open that up, you could click on it directly from there. Let me know whether that's working or not. Does that link in the chat work? Yes. Awesome. Thank you, Helene. Appreciate that. So here's the other thing that I want you to understand. As you could tell, you're getting a whopping big discount, but I can only guarantee that deal through the end, or I can't guarantee it past the end of today's presentation. So if you could hear the sound of my voice now, you could be assured that you are getting the best currently available price, okay? And I want to put that deal in perspective for you. You know, John is getting about 4,000 free clicks a week to his websites. So let's say that you went to Facebook and you lived in fairy tale land and you could get clicks on Facebook for only 25 cents a click. You can't. Well, maybe you can, but I've never been able to get anywhere near that. That's essentially $1,000 in free traffic to his site. And here's the thing I just love about Pinterest is that traffic just keeps coming. You can't even turn it off. So the place to go to get this very special deal is at realfastsocialgraphics.com/Adam. That link is in your chat if you're here live with us. Also, I want to tell you that that we're going to continue to deliver for you. You see, John has been in business for over 30 years, and I've been in business for over 10 years now. And one of the reasons why I love working with Adam is all three of us know our success is directly related to yours. That's why we've had such staying power and why you will not be alone in your journey to a more profitable business. Also, I want to let you know that our business is, in fact, A+ accredited by the Better Business Bureau. So the place to go, realfastsocialgraphics.com/Adam. And John, I want to bring you back on because I want you to describe what I consider to be the best bonus in the entire what we have here, the entire offer. It's our instant audience bonus. John, can you explain this for folks?
Yes, we talked about the power of group boards to get you a lot more followers and get people actively interested in what you're doing. And so I created 4 group boards only for the members of the Real Fast Social Graphics. One is called Tips, 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 where you share tips. Another one is called Motivational and Inspirational Quotes to share quote graphics. The other one is Great Products for Women. And the fourth one is Great Products for Men. All of them have somewhere between 5,000 and 6,000 followers. So the minute you join these groups, and you can ask on Facebook, the Facebook group, to join, and I will add you, then you pin to one of these groups, you will be exposed to 5,000 to 6,000 people immediately, and they will have a chance to follow you, to like you, to like your pin, to repin it, and so on, so that you will start to get a lot more people following you and interacting with your website or wherever you send the link. That was it.
Excellent. Great. Yeah. So yeah, thank you, John. So the place to go, realfastsocialgraphics.com/Adam. That link is in your chat if you're here live with us. Now, the other thing I want to just again highlight for you are John's accomplishments. Maybe you've heard of Deepak Chopra. John helped Deepak Chopra go basically from a Vanity Press author to being a New York Times bestseller more than 8 times. Plus, another New York Times bestseller, Joel Comm, says Kramer's the go-to guy for marketing books. No duh. But not only are Kramer's tips and resources excellent for promoting books, but you can use many of the techniques and strategies for promoting a variety of other goods and services. Highly recommended. And I know you're probably asking yourself, well, dang, this sounds great. How quickly can I see results? Well, I wanted to highlight yet another one of our students, Rhonda. And I want you to pay particularly close attention to the dates and the times here. She says, results update yesterday, July 2nd, I enrolled in this course, the one you're about to enroll in. Watched the videos and started implementing. The doing part was like later in the afternoon. I had no Pinterest traffic for the last month. No surprise, as I hadn't used it as a source, but drum roll, please. 23.5% of my traffic yesterday came from Pinterest. So to kind of unpack this for you, keep in mind, she didn't get started until late in the afternoon. She probably didn't get her first pin up until later in the evening, early evening probably. And yet, she got a quarter of her traffic, 23.5% of her traffic on that day came from Pinterest. So yes, it can happen very, very quick. So we're going to start taking questions here in just a second, but before we do, I have one last bonus for you. And for Adam's group, you're going to be particularly interested in this because we have a whole training on how to promote your novel with Pinterest, okay? Your novel. If you're a novelist, you're definitely going to want this module within our training, Real Fast Social Graphics. So the very last thing I want to say, and then we're going to start taking your questions, and you can start going order right now, is that Pinterest is just a lot of fun. So it doesn't even seem like work, doesn't even seem like you're actually marketing, and that makes it so much easier. So the place to go, realfastsocialgraphics.com/Adam, and we will start taking your questions right now. Yes.
Daniel, one of the questions is from Mary. She says that when she clicks the join button, it's giving me a server error. And maybe you can take people through buying?
Sure, I could definitely do that. So one of the things that happened, our shopping cart, which is Zaxa, is having some issues today for some strange reason. So we had to change up the link. So let me Real Fast Social Graphics, Adam. All right. So it should take us here, right? And there's Adam's lovely face. So you're going to come over here to where it says buy now, and let's see whether this works. It should take you directly to PayPal, log in, and or pay with a credit or debit card, and then just log you click this one to log in and pay with PayPal, or click this one pay with your debit or credit card. Okay, so if I click that one, you should see a form field, and you do for $297, and just go ahead and complete the sale. So hopefully that gets you through, Mary. Okay, so the other thing I guess we should probably do is show folks the actual.
Daniel, apparently
yes.
She clicked on the gold button on that page, the original page, and that one is the one that gave her the server error.
Okay, so click on the one below that. Yeah, we've been scrambling here in the background when we figured out that the shopping cart was down.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the issue. All right.
Edward is asking, how can someone take advantage of this who's not only an Amazon author, but also an ex-sex offender who cannot use Facebook, Twitter, and most other social media? I am currently limited to Pinterest. Well, thank God you're limited, that you got Pinterest, because you can send traffic that way, and you should be able to do it. Pinterest seems to be, they're not as rules-based as Facebook and Twitter. You do want to be careful, what you say sometimes and what you share, but they're pretty flexible. So if you share good content, that would be, you'll get people clicking through to find out more about what you have to tell. We don't know what kind of book you have, so that makes it a little bit harder to describe what you can do. But certainly you can send people to Amazon, and if you have a website, you can send them there and then on to Amazon. So you have two choices there. I tend to like to send people to my website so I can collect their email address, at the same time give them more content to encourage them to buy the book on Amazon, and then I send them to Amazon from there. That's just one of the things I like to do, the way I like to do it. Now, Daniel, there was a question. Somebody didn't understand when you were at Amazon how you got the URL. Can you show them that? There it comes. Oh, there it disappeared. There it is.
Is Daniel there?
I am here, yes. I was just talking away, realized that I was muted. And talking to myself, which I frequently do. So here is the book, and the question is on the link, right? So what I did for this is I live in a state where I could be an Amazon associate. So I just grabbed this my affiliate link for this book. So that's what I just did. That's the short link right here. Now, if you want a short link and you don't have that, or you're not an Amazon associate, you could actually come down here. I believe it's right here, and grab it. I think you can grab it from there. And no, I guess not. There's another. Oh, yes. See, here it is. You can grab that link. We'll also get you there. Or alternatively, you can just grab all of this right up through this closing bracket, what I have highlighted right now. Any of those will work. Okay, any of those will work.
Thanks.
Yeah, and by the way, for those people ordering now, I want to make sure that you are aware, because we are having a problem with our shopping cart at the moment, unfortunately. We will be sending you via basically a private email all of your contact, all of the login and all that stuff. Okay, so that you can just be looking out for that. It won't happen until after we're finished with this webinar, obviously, because we're at the moment kind of occupied. But that's the way it will come to you. Now, the other thing here, I think looks like we've changed out the button. The other thing, if you're having problems here, you could also call this number and just leave a message, and we'll call you back, and we'll actually help you order it that way as well. Okay. Let's see. Come back over.
Another question we got was, what about for artists? And I responded, but I thought I'd respond for everybody. Artists are golden on Pinterest, because Pinterest is all about images. And if you create images that are interesting, and we show you actually in the course how to create an image with the typographic combined to draw people to what you have to offer. And Pinterest has a lot of Etsy shop owners who make a lot of money on Pinterest via their Etsy stores. So it can be done very effectively, even for artists or anybody else.
Well,
Todd,
actually, I would make the argument, especially for artists. That
yes,
this is a great this is a superlative platform for you, because now you could do like miniatures of your art, because they could actually see that, you know, whatever it is you're whatever it is you're creating, right? And by the way, I want to, wow, I just noticed that. So we are starting to see sales. So I want to welcome those folks that that are taking advantage of this very special deal. And we'll just say that yeah, this is probably one of the best ways to get the word out for your book. That is Pinterest and what we teach within Real Fast Social Graphics. And one of the things that I just adore about it is the fact that it's cumulative. In other words, what you do today can potentially continue to help you years into the future. And I'll show you why that is. Let me go back over here to Pinterest, if I could find that tab. Yep, here it is. If I go over to my back to my my profile here, if I can go to my profile, not that one. I'm gonna go to, let's go back to my feed, and oh, this is probably the best. Okay, so the next thing I wanted to kind of show you here is, so let's go to my boards. These are all the boards that I either have started or I belong to. Okay. By the way, that's the other thing we show you how to do. See how they've got this sort of scrolling thing like this. Isn't that cool? We show you how to do that. Okay. Plus, like here are some of my boards. Let me find my dream cars board. Where is it? Here it is. Okay, so this gives you an example of why it can be so powerful. So let's say that somebody is into cars like I am, and they like how I've curated my board. They like the content that I have on my board. They follow me. They follow my board. Okay, and here's the beautiful thing: is that if you scroll to the very bottom of the board, everything I've ever put on Pinterest is on this board. Now I don't do my dream cars for marketing. I do it for my own personal pleasure, but everything that I put here is still here. Okay? So like YouTube, okay? Everything you put up on Pinterest is archived. Okay? It's like every video you put on YouTube also archived. Everything you put on Pinterest, archive, so people can find you even years later. Try that with Facebook. Try that with Twitter. Okay, it just not even possible. Okay, or highly unlikely. Let's put it that way. Everything's possible, but highly unlikely. So the place to go right here, realfastsocialgraphics.com/Adam. Head on over there right now and grab this very special deal. Okay. Other questions? Let's see here. I'm going through the questions, and John, I don't hear you if you're talking. Maybe you're muted.
I was talking.
I figured you were talking. I'm like, oh, he did the same thing I did.
So Todd has a question. He says, we have a physical product we're selling that's in the all natural and organic skincare area. Would that be a good fit for Pinterest? And the answer is absolutely a good fit. You know, it's part of the whole health, beauty, and even fashion categories that are very hot on Pinterest, and people are always looking for good things. And if you created a typographic featuring, you know, some of the value of your skincare and things like that, you could actually get a lot of traffic. And again, then he asks, what is the conversion rate for your sites for purchase from traffic from Pinterest? And again, the click-through rate is anywhere from 2% to 25%. Once they click through, the conversion rate, in my experience, is about 10 to 20%.
And of course, it all depends on your product. And honestly, I'll tell you, Todd, the best, at least I have found that the very best use of Pinterest is in list building your platform. I mean, that's what I
Yes.
use it for exclusively. And the reason why that's important from a marketing standpoint is it gives you an opportunity to build a relationship, to build a bond with a community of people that are interested in your subject matter and resonate with how you say things and do things in your books or whatever your products are. So it's not just, you know, sending folks directly to Amazon like we did with Robin's book here a second ago, where they could either choose to buy or not to buy. It's if you get them on the email, if your email list, you get potentially many bites at the apple, right? Because you can keep going back to them with your offer over and over again, as long as you're continuing to build value, make the emails that you send out valuable. But again, that's
why I like to send people to, you know, my website first, because then I can capture their email before sending them on to buy something.
Yep. Okay. So if you are in, let me know in the chat that you are in, and also what you are hoping to get out of this training. Ooh, you know what? I was about to show our members area, because that's a really important thing that people see. Don't you think, John? People should see that.
Yes, because I love the big orange button.
The big orange button. Let's show people the members area and the big orange button. So here is the members area, right? And a couple things I want you to notice about it is it's all on one page. Super easy to navigate, not get lost. Okay, and you just open up for each one of these. You just click the down button, and here's all the training for this power pinning, and you know, how to create pins, and building your followers, and monetizing with Pinterest, and something we call minute training sessions, and our bonus section, all here. Now, here's the other really cool thing. If you look at where it says, you know, let's say you want the lesson on typographics and how to do typographics. If you click here, it changes the video out. The other thing you should see here is we actually have it not on all lessons, but on many lessons. We actually have a PDF that accompanies or that augments on the video as well. And then also, where it is apropos, we actually have a typographic, or we have samples for you as well to kind of key off of and use. So you've got that. Now the other thing is that when you come into the members area, the next thing you want to do here is go and join the Facebook group. Okay, join the Facebook group by clicking this button, and you're going to come over here, and as you can see, hopefully, here's our Facebook group, and get rid of all that. And as you can tell, we have currently over 1,000 people in our Facebook group here. Okay, so and by the way, so you can get help from John and I here, and that's how you do that. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you is this right here. Click here to request a training. John, can you tell folks about our beautiful big orange button here?
Yeah, that's really to help personalize the course for you. If there's something that we don't answer in all the lessons, you can click to ask for training on that particular requirement. And I have a list of 3 or 4 trainings I have to do now because people asked for them. But that's how the training for the novelist came about, because somebody said, can you show me as a novelist specific things to do on Pinterest that will work? And so I showcased that in 2 lessons, and that came about because somebody asked for it. I'm working on one for children's books as well. That one's not up yet, but it will be soon. And we also have a training coming up on AdSense, more information on how to make money through AdSense.
I mean, oh, by AdSense, right? Sure. And then I think we're also working on one for buying ads on Pinterest, because we had people ask about that as well.
So
So
there's training coming up. So it's like a living course that when you ask for something, you know, we create it for you as soon as we can.
yeah. So again, I want you to know that. And I also want to start thanking folks that have joined us. Mary, I want to welcome you to the fold. Thank you so much for jumping in. I want to all, and by the way, Mary, let us know in the chat what you're hoping to get. Why did you invest in yourself by investing in this training? So if you do that for us in the chat, that would be awesome. Also, Todd is in. The same question, Todd. If you could just let us know what you're hoping to get out of this deal as being a member. Okay, so let's see other questions here. Have we answered
One person asked, can you only pin to a board you created or one that you're a collaborator on? And the answer is yes, those are the boards, the ones you've created or group boards that you belong to. You cannot pin on somebody else's board. That would be kind of neat, but it would be chaos. And I wouldn't want it, because then people would be messing with my boards.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and again, this is the beauty of being being on and being a member of group boards. Basically, like I was just showing you, I have over 50. I'm on 53 boards, I believe. Let's see if I can find that again. No, not that. Let's see here. This, I believe, is what I want to show you. Going back to my profile here. If you're on your board on your Pinterest profile, when you see these are mostly all when you see this sort of thing where you've got more than multiple pictures of people, these are all group boards. I'm a member of these group boards. See that? So that's how you can tell from your profile. Okay. So Mary says that she is in because Pinterest is the way I'd like to go for marketing. I have POD designs, that is print on demand designs, and plan on writing in the children's genre. Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Todd said he's in also. He's the one with the organic natural skincare product.
Yes, exactly. Okay, welcome to you, Todd. And I don't know. Hopefully, we will have a recording. I'm not sure. Tangerine is asking if we're going to have a replay. It's always our intention to have a replay, but sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes the webinar gods don't smile on us, and we don't do well. But yeah, if it works, we could definitely do that. Yes, and yes, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee, Todd. For those folks that are wondering about that, yes, we do have a 30-day satisfaction money-back guarantee. So yes, you do have that as well. Mm-hmm.
And Todd said, this is good stuff. No one should ever ask for one. And for the most part, they don't.
Yeah,
because it is good stuff.
Yeah. Plus, I mean, we really do help. In a lot of ways, this is much more than a training program, because you're getting John and I both from a coaching and consulting standpoint, and as well as where we're making, this is a dynamic, growing, living, breathing course that keeps in step with the needs of our students. So yeah, it's a tiny, really tiny investment, especially when you consider, just for a second, John, let me ask you this question. You take on private consulting clients, right?
Right.
How much do people actually pay you for your time?
$600 an hour.
Okay. So that's not some BS number. That's people that pay that. Not that we just say that pay it, but so yeah. You're just having John in your corner alone is worth this. Okay. So yeah.
I spend a lot of time in the Facebook group answering people's questions, and they also email me. I've got a few questions to answer now as well there. So, we make it easy for you to ask in a multiple number of ways, but the best way to ask is in the Facebook group. That's why Daniel said that should be one of the first things you do to when you get into the membership area is join the group.
Absolutely. So I'm not seeing any additional questions here. Are you?
What's the link again?
Oh, the link right here at realfastsocialgraphics.com/Adam. The link is also in the chat. If you just click on it, and the reason why, by the way, I keep saying it's in the chat for those of you that are here live, is because that's the only place we could put it where the link is clickable. Okay, so you don't have to worry about clicking it and opening it up and so forth. So yeah. Okay. Any other questions?
This is your chance.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This is yeah. If you've made the decision to go ahead and grab it, my strong recommendation is to go ahead and grab it right now, for a variety of reasons. The primary one is I can't guarantee that we're going to keep the same price past the end of today's presentation. Okay. So once again, if you're hearing the sound of my voice, you could be assured that you're getting the best deal possible. Okay. Awesome. And Adam, I want to thank you for hosting us. And John, once again, thank you for another wonderful job. And I want to thank everyone that's here and that stuck with us all the way to the end. And I really look forward to seeing you in the Facebook group and in the members area. You will love this this training and what it does for your career and your bank account. Okay, place to go. One last call to action: realfastsocialgraphics.com/Adam. Okay. All right. So with that, thank you so much, and we will catch you in the members area.
Thanks a lot.